Hello, everybody.
You said you said announced a new Destiny. Hi, chat. Can you hear me?
I saw
They
the
can hear you now,
announcement.
They announced a new Destiny expansion
Are they using the word expansion lightly?
on a tweet. I mean, yeah, quote-unquote expansion.
Destiny 2.
It feels like they saw people being like, oh, well, Marathon is gonna come out, so Destiny's dead. They were like, just tweet something, so people stop talking shit.
Edge of Fate, is that this?
Yep.
Ah.
You have to say, I like the 9. It's the 9 related lore. And as a lore freak, the 9 is like a nice
All right.
section of that lore. So.
Is that like when Star Rail had the character like March 27th or something? No? Okay.
All right.
Guys, hear me? Start
You guys hear that?
cheering now!
Mm-hmm.
All right.
we're ready.
I think we are ready to go, Mike.
Yeah, I'm ready.
All right. I will count us in. All
All
right.
right.
We are going live in 5, 4, 3.
Hey, you guys hear me? Start cheering now! Yeah, let's get this over with. Yeah.
Woof, woof. Hi, I'm Mike Monopoly, and I am a Nintendog.
Hi, I'm Jeff Grubb, and I am a Nintendog.
We are the last of the Nintendogs.
Ruff, ruff, ruff.
Today,
Woof, woof.
Nintendo can't stay quiet forever. The gates of Oblivion are opening. And what GameCube game do you want on NSO? Most Jeffrey Michael Grubb. How are you doing?
Doing good. Doing pretty well, yeah. Yeah, want to get news out of Nintendo, want them to speak and tell us what's going on. But at the very least, we got that Mario Kart Direct to look forward to. So kind of keeping an eye on that. I'm also just like maybe resigning myself to like, you know, maybe we never get the Switch 2 or whatever. Clearly we will, but I'm like, I can just, I'll go plug in a GameCube into my retro tank and play some old games. I'll be fine.
I'm not there. I'm not resigning myself to that. I better get a Switch too. Absolutely not.
It's just like, I'm like, oh man, this retro tank is really good. I like old games. There's plenty of old games I haven't played before, so I'm kind of getting in that mood.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'll have enough games to play forever if they stop making video games today. And yet, no, I'm getting a Switch too.
We'll figure something out. Yeah.
We'll figure something out. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with us. If you're watching live, you can drop a super chat. I see a bunch of those already. Thank you so much. Those will get answered during the show. Please hit that thumbs up button. Helps more people find the show. Check out our Patreon at patreon.com/GameMess, or you can support us on our Twitch channels. Tolkoto, Jeff Grubb, and again, Christian without the H. Those all will get you access to special Discord channels. So yeah, we appreciate all of that support. But yeah, Jeff, I think on Thursday we did a show. I was like, I bet maybe they'll say something about the pre-orders on Friday and they'll go up at some point the next week. But that didn't happen, and the whole weekend was sort of this weird saga where at first it seemed like things were calming down. Like, oh, you're hearing about all these exemptions that were gonna happen for computer stuff. In the China tariffs and whatnot. But then, first Trump's like, oh, there are no exemptions. And other people are like, there are some exemptions, but not for consoles. Right? So things are still sort of confusing in a mess. So Nintendo hasn't come out and said anything yet. I don't know if they're stalling for more time. I don't know if Thursday is a ticking time bomb, Jeff, but it is going to be a little awkward if we do this Mario Kart Direct. And like during that presentation, there still wasn't a point where they can be like, and pre-orders start blank. And are they still going to commit to that release date here too? I assume so. This is a launch game, June 5th with the Switch 2. Where are you at with all of this?
Yeah, I'm these directs, they are planned quite a bit ahead of time. So they probably are not going to have anything in the direct that answers any of these questions directly, specifically. Maybe they do, but Probably not. So my guess would be like, maybe if this is the moment where they decide to say something, it is something that like accompanies the direct in like a press release later or in a tweet announcement or something like that. And I hope so. You're right. Maybe it's not a ticking time bomb the way that we're talking about it right now, but definitely feel like, the directs are calls to action. They are, hey, here is a bunch of information, and they've already done a lot of the setup directs. They had their initial Switch 2 reveal. They had the big direct that showed us a ton about Mario Kart World. And now we're getting the Mario Kart World direct specifically. And if that is not meant to be a call to action of, hey, we've told you about it. We've told you about it a bunch of times. Here's all the details. Don't you want to buy this thing? Well, here's how you can do that. I feel like they don't want to waste that opportunity. Now, they won't be wasting that opportunity around the world, of course. And that's, maybe that's the way they're going to have to look at it. But they don't want to waste this moment in the United States either. This is all part of a marketing plan. This stuff doesn't happen randomly. Nintendo is trying to make the most out of every chance to talk to consumers. So I bet they've been trying to figure things out so they could have something to say for Thursday. Do they feel good about, what they've done so far? Good enough to actually come out and say it? It seems like probably not, because things are just still so uncertain.
Right. Yeah. I bet there's still I bet they're still trying to figure things out here. Maybe they have people talking to the government or talking to the government on their behalf to get the Switch 2 in line with those exemptions. We talked before about how a lot of Switch 2 stuff is being made in Vietnam, but a lot of it still is in China. And that's the one country that's still getting a ton of tariffs. So it would be presumably a giant problem for Nintendo. And yet, I don't think Thursday is the end all be all, but I do think that they'll really want to. So it's just a good possibility of a day, or in general, seeing something before then. Because if we don't, Jeff, then it really is like oh boy, like what is happening here?
Yep, exactly. It's going to be like we might be waiting several more weeks actually for details. So yeah, I think we've gone the last when did it happen? Like almost 2 weeks ago, the direct, and then they delayed pre-orders the next day. And so I think we kind of went through that week being like, okay, they're not going to say anything. That first week they're going to wait a little bit, and then that next week I think we're like sitting around like, okay, any minute now. And now we're past that. It feels like there's no reason to rush, because in that time when I'm thinking maybe they come up with a solution, the reality on the ground has changed so many times that any solution they came up with probably was outdated the second they put it down on paper. So, what do you do?
But the last thing they want to do is say something.
Yes. And
then have to once again be like, oh, never mind. We need to maybe change that or rethink that.
Right. And they want to say something. Of course they do. This is not them being, oh, weird Nintendo, can't figure this out. This is, no company feels good about this. Like PlayStation raised prices in other places. They didn't raise prices here because they don't know what to raise prices here to. Like they're not sure what price to go for in this moment. They will raise prices, but they're just not sure what to raise it to in this moment. So everyone's kind of just like let's just sell what we have in the supply chain there for now. And like honestly, I won't be surprised if in a couple of weeks we start seeing shortages of a lot of these consoles that are already on sale, because they might not be being shipped to the United States in this moment. So in the meantime, Nintendo clearly has to be the first one to really figure all this out, because they're the one that has the most pressing issue. This console's out in a month and a half, according to them. They have not delayed that yet. The issue just continues to be there is no good answer for any of this, because you plan for 145% tariffs from China, where most of the consoles are made, come up with a plan to get around that, and it's going to change.
You talked about PlayStation raising prices, which, to me, why that's happening. It's happening in Europe and Australia, in New Zealand for the base PlayStation 5. That's still all pretty wild to me. Again, that system is going to be 5 years old later this year. There's no chance that they could have increased the price of the Switch 1, right? Because presumably these tariffs impact that as well.
I mean, There's definitely a chance they could raise the price of the Switch One. Like, I mean,
Can you imagine a $400 Switch One?
no, but like really that could happen. You know, what is that? $350 for the OLED. Yeah, they could raise all of them by $50, and like even that wouldn't, you know, cover the tariffs. Now, of course, they're making a pretty hefty margin on those things at this point, but you know, not 145% margin. That's impossible. So yeah, this is the kind of thing where everything is just going to go up in price. Unless they get an exemption, and you said maybe they have people talking to the government on their behalf, but we've seen how little that's accomplished. You know, Apple got a carve out, but Tim Apple was at the inauguration. He paid money for the inauguration, and this is kind of the best.
He kissed the ring.
He kissed the ring.
He just licked that ring and lapped it up. He went at that ring like that sea otter did in that video I posted.
That's exactly what happened there. Just got his face
like
all
a
buried
plate
in
of spaghetti, Jeff.
Like a plate of spaghetti. Yeah. So I don't think Nintendo's going to have necessarily the same luck getting their own carve out, but who knows? This guy changes his mind every 30 seconds.
But with the PlayStation, I mean, look, the Grand Theft Auto 5 is happening, so maybe a lot of people have to get PlayStation to get that. Am I wild to think like some people are just going to not buy PlayStation 5s? I don't know. That just seems like such. I just have a hard time getting over that price for, again, this aging console that was never really as good as the best consoles. I think maybe we can all agree upon that the PlayStation 5 sure is no PlayStation 2, a console that probably cost $100 or something by the time it was almost 5 years old.
Yep.
I don't know. What do you think? Are they overreaching, or are they going to get away with that?
I mean, it's, you know, a little bit of both, right? They're overreaching because you're right. They are going to lop some people off that would have been potential customers off and not include them as potential people to sell video games to. But I think they are at a point where they don't care anymore about growing the console business. They are trying to make the most from people who are most likely to buy their consoles. And they know that there is quite a few of those people left for GTA 6, so they'll happily sell it to that audience. And, you know, I think a lot of the audience that would not otherwise buy a PS5 that has been increased in price will actually bite the bullet and get one for Grand Theft Auto 6. So Sony probably will get away with a lot of this.
Yeah.
But, you know, there's going to be people who do continue to sit out. And I think that is, or the other thing here is like, Sony still makes a lot of money from the PS4, not selling PS4s, but the PS4 is sitting there and people buying a lot of free-to-play microtransactions in Fortnite and Call of Duty Warzone. Like, that stuff makes a ton of money still. They get 30% of every one of those transactions. And I'm like, they're a service company now. So as long as you can access their services on something you already have, they're not too hot and bothered about selling you PS5s. Like, you know, people who have the money will buy them, and this console is going to be around for quite a bit longer still. And I think they're just like looking at it that way. It sucks. It's a bummer of a console generation, kind of a bummer of a gaming situation overall. And I mean, if people are feeling cynical about it, I don't blame them.
Yeah, like, you know, if we're not trying to grow the console market, and the only thing it can do, it's not going to stagnate and stay the same forever. It's just going to shrink. So I worry about the console market being in a bit of a death spiral. And it's almost surprising me that video games got to the point where they don't really need the consoles. Like, gaming will generally mostly be fine, but I think we'll be missing on something. I don't think Nintendo's entirely immune to that. Whatever the Switch 2 does, I don't think it's going to sell as well as the Switch 1 did, especially now with everything going on here. I mean, it's always been like that with these successor consoles for the most part. The Wii so better than the Wii so better than the GameCube, but think about the Wii U, even the Super Nintendo, not as well as the NES, 3DS, not as well.
GameCube not as much as the N64. Like, really,
right.
That's the comparison there. I know GameCube and Wii are very similar, but yeah.
Yeah. So, I bet the Switch 2 will do fine, but again, it might trend down, and who knows what happens next. The big question is, like, what's the Switch 3 look like? Which that could be 8, 9, 10 years away. That's the other thing with the PlayStation 5 and Xbox One is, boy, is this generation getting dragged out somehow even more now because of all this. So yeah, it's a weird situation with the consoles, especially with the Switch 2, just kind of being in this limbo state right now. It sucks because we had that big excitement of the reveal, and then it almost immediately became about the pricing drama, and then now this just when can we even pre-order it drama. I just want to be excited, right? I just want to be like doing a countdown. Instead, it's a lot of worry and a lot of concern.
Yep, it stinks.
All right, next up, Jeff, cute little thing here, but Marvel's Capcom Fighting Collection is getting a cool update tomorrow, April 16th. This is basically the everything people did criticize about the game updates.
Ooh, cool.
Kind of a lot of smaller things here, like X-Men versus Street Fighter. The version of that in this collection was a specific one that was missing some of the glitches and tricks that a lot of people like to use. It wasn't the version that like people who really love this game play when they want to do competitions, right? Well, now they just added the option to use that version. You can choose between 3 different arcade versions of the game. The backgrounds and the resolution for Mario Capcom 2 wasn't as high as the Dreamcast port because it was just based on the arcade original. Well, they fixed that. You can now double the resolution for those elements, so those backgrounds are going to look a lot smoother. The game didn't have like a dedicated versus mode because, again, there is just arcade ports basically. So it's just like push start, whatnot. Well, now it's getting a more dedicated versus mode that will hopefully play smoother and not just require you to kind of save and load states. Right, because, the arcade mode, it's like, well, if you win and the other person goes into the arcade mode with that team, and if you challenge them, they can't change their team or who they're playing as, that kind of thing. And apparently a lot of this stuff is going to apply to the original Marvel's Capcom Fighting Collection and to the future Capcom Fighting Collection 2. I bet that's why we're getting some of this stuff is because they're working on Capcom Fighting Collection 2, which isn't too far out there.
It's like a month or so away.
I thought that Marvel's Capcom Fighting Collection was already fantastic, and this really is just hey, there were some problems with this thing, and pretty much are fixing all of them. I think it's super neat.
Yep, this is really awesome to hear. I mean,
I can't hear you, Jeff. Did I do something?
The chat can hear me. So yeah, I think I'm fine.
No, chat. Let me know if you hear Jeff or if it's a me problem.
They hear me. I mean, they should. And if they don't, we got problems. Christian, do you hear me?
Okay, they hear you. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I hear you.
Do you hear me, Mike? Okay, but Mike doesn't hear me. Okay, so something's broken on his side.
Do you hear me, Mike?
We hear Mike. All right, everybody.
Mike doesn't hear us.
But Mike doesn't hear us. Christian, can you get in chat and explain that to him? All right, let's see here. So while Mike fixes that, I'll just kind of vamp here because I was happy to hear this news. I'm just surprised that Marvel vs. Capcom was getting this support in the first place. Like, I thought they would kind of put these things out, and like, I'm very happy they did. I guess I expected some support. Capcom doesn't exactly always just leave these things to wither on the vine entirely, but this all seems like, wow, they listened to exactly what people are asking for. And, they're making these games for that audience. They bring people like Max in anyhow to react to this stuff. They probably are asking him questions about what he wants. And I'm sure that a lot of people in that community have voiced these things. So cool to see. All right.
I can hear you, Jeff. Don't worry. I'm back.
All right. He's back.
I caught that.
Okay. Very cool. So yeah, this is awesome to hear.
No idea why that happened. I just had to raise my volume and suddenly everything worked again. I don't know.
Weird.
Yeah. Hey, Jeff, Oblivion, that remake that you've been talking about forever, that some people were clowning on you for some reason, like they didn't believe you. It's leaked. It's happening. The developer just had some images in its WordPress, and people found these pictures that way. We can see what the game looks like. Looks definitely spiffier, newer. Some concerns about it kind of looking a bit yellower. It's not quite as vibrant green, but who knows? Maybe we're making too much out of that.
Yeah, I kind of want to see it for myself in person. Yeah. And the way it'd be weird if that was the Unreal 5 engine doing that to things the way the Unreal Engine 3 did it. But yeah, I want to see it for myself.
It would be a weird decision if they did. I would still enjoy the game by being.
I think it still looks good, but obviously side by side comparisons, like, yeah, that's shit brown. I get it.
Jeff, when can I play this thing?
Yeah, probably next week. Yeah, no reason to think that stuff is incorrect. Shadow drop next week. I agree with everyone who hears that, but like, that shadow drop, why would they do that? Yeah, I don't know. I don't make those decisions, and really, I don't have insight into why they make those decisions. But shadow drop next week. So that'd be the week of April 21st. It doesn't mean April 21st itself, which is always like, I'll tweet stuff like, hey, the week of April 21st, and I'll see 10 people like, he said that April 21st is happening. Like, bitch, can you not read? What is wrong with you people? But next week sometime.
Is May over yet, you dumbass?
Exactly.
Whatever it was that
Yes.
one time.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those situations. But yeah, hey, we'll see. And I think we're going to be playing this thing very soon. So I'm looking forward to it. Boy, Oblivion is going to go down great right now. It's a good summer game.
You think, say a chance we could see this thing on the Switch too, if not imminently, at some point, maybe this year or next year?
I bet that Skyrim did very well on the Switch. Yes. And so I wouldn't be surprised if like part of this is let's get this thing ready for the Switch too. So yeah, I mean, I know right now we're hearing it's for PlayStation and Xbox and PC, and it should be. But I mean, a Switch 2 release like later this year, November, I could see that. And so yeah, I hope so. I think it'd be a good fit.
That would make me happy. I'm excited to play Oblivion again. It's a great game. I really have not played it. I think when I finally did play it, it was just a bit before Skyrim was coming out. When it relaunched, I only played a bit of it. I wasn't really into Western RPGs yet for some reason, and then I finally had my big turnaround when Fallout 3 was happening. Actually, right. So that's when I finally got on the Bethesda.
Oblivion's the one
train.
that did it for me. So that's I have a lot of love for this game.
Yeah, I still need to play Morrowind. I want to do that. Same. I know it's a bit more for the freaks, but I think I'll enjoy that. Maybe they'll do something with Morrowind.
I hope so.
Yeah, I do wonder when it is. Like when at some point here we're going to have to hear about the Elder Scrolls 6, huh?
Yeah. Right. So how far away from Starfield now?
A couple summers ago, this summer, right? It'll be 2 years since they're talking about that.
So
they just released that expansion that people can't stop talking about.
They're raving about it. Yeah. So they've gone
last year was that when the expansion? Yeah, the expansion.
They're wacko for that thing. Yeah. Maybe we don't hear about it this year, but maybe next year.
Right. It'll be interesting to see what that looks like. Jeff, one tiny thing here: The Legend of Zelda, the original one, is on Nintendo Music. That's a case of hey, it's nice, and of course you had to put Zelda 1 on there, but we get one of these a week, really, and it's like So this week it's those like 5 or 6 tracks from Zelda 1 that are 10-second loops,
They should put Bolero in there as well. That's what it's.
Yeah.
Be like, this is what I really wanted. Yeah.
I like the way you think, Jeff. That's a good one for the people who know.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Zelda 1. All right, that's it for our news here. We're gonna take a little break. We got super chats to get through, and then we asked our community, and we'll discuss amongst ourselves what GameCube games do we want to see on the new NSO, GameCube, Nintendo Classics, whatever the heck they're calling it now. No tabby touchy. We'll be right back. I'm reclaiming that.
All right, we are on a break.
Fantastic.
What do you want to
I'm ready to go. By the way, I don't have to go anywhere.
Yeah, let me get the super chats.
Oh, okay.
Here.
Let's wait for Chef to get the super chats.
It'll take them long. We come in.
Yep, there we go. And then it got all bloated here. 90%, 100%. There we go.
Careful there.
All right, I am good to go.
All right, I'll bring us in. All right, we're back. Let's get to the super chats. Mr. Jeff Grubb.
Yeah, let's get into them here, starting with Dorachi, who says, what does it say about me that the most exciting thing in my life right now is that in just 50 days, I'm going to have a brand new way to play Yakuza 0, a game I already own like 4 times. When you love a thing, you love it, right? I mean, I feel that way about Hitman. I'm like, oh, I'm going to have a new way to play Hitman.
Exactly. Yeah, I am so excited to buy Hitman.
Yeah.
Again. We all have games like that. Skyrim for a bunch of people, right? We just own a million versions of some of these games, and we kind of happily gulp it up. It's fine. These are games that are. I haven't played Yakuza 0. I'm excited to play that for the first time. But things like Hitman, Skyrim, they're just very easy games to replay anyway. So whatever. Yeah, it's part of the cool thing about gaming is it's 4 sickos, and they give us a way to rebuy the same thing over and over again, and that is crazy, and yet I kind of like that aspect of gaming. All right, Two Bear says, I don't want to hear one person talk about the latest Nintendo music drops until the Switch 2 pre-orders are available. Rest in peace, Peepo, Peepus, Pepsi. Well, I apologize, but I was kind of sassy about it when I did it. At least,
yeah, that's true. Good for you.
I
Good for
was dismissive.
Yeah,
of the
that's
Legend of
something.
Zelda 1.
You know,
So
it's
there you go.
Not as good as not saying anything, but
Oh, I
it's pretty
forgot
good.
this in the news segment, Jeff. Actually, speaking about being dismissive and mean, I was watching a video by one Scott the Woz.
Oh,
Where he's talking about like the worst received Nintendo games, just kind of going through them, giving his own ratings. I thought that's interesting. So he's doing like Federation Force and like a bunch of these other Nintendo games that weren't super well liked or whatever. Then he gets to Donkey Konga. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, oh yeah, I don't like Donkey Konga. He's like, oh, Donkey Konga it just hurts. You play it for testing it, your hands are just beet red and throbbing. Scott the Woz, I'm here to tell you that you have weak hands.
yeah. Cut a promo on him, Mike. Go for it. You got 30 seconds. No.
I think your hands should better be.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
I like game. I'm mad.
You were gonna cut a promo as caveman, Mike, but I like it.
Caveman. No, that's all. Otherwise, I'm enjoying the video quite a bit. You should check it out.
Yeah, you never know when like one of those is gonna pop up in a video. You're like, oh really? I'm everyone I talked to loved Donkey Konga, and everything I was reading was like, everyone liked this thing.
Yeah. But Scott the Woz is a bit of a tastemaker. I'm like, part of me is like, I don't really care. But it's like, are people going to start thinking that Donkey Kong is a bad game now? Because like he even said that he liked Barrel Blast more than it. That Wii game where it's a racing game that was supposed to use the bongos, and then it became a Wii game, so you don't. But yeah. Oh yeah, I should have a diss track on Scott the Woz in the Gamer
there
Rep,
you
too.
go. All right, get to work.
Is
Go
Donkey Kong a
after
mainline?
Scott. Go after Scott. That'd be great. All right, Jim, you make it.
Is he in Ohio as well? People have mentioned that before. So
Is Scott the Woz in Ohio? Oh, we can do something about this right now. Somebody talk Scott the Woz for me. Please don't do that.
Oh,
Don't do that.
Willow Davis says, hey,
Toledo. Oh, of course. Toledo.
yeah, you can just tell by looking at him.
Yeah, he's got it. I went to school in Toledo for a semester. I know his guy.
Yeah. Might as well be
Yeah, it's
Fremont,
Tony Rocco
Ohio.
ass.
Shit.
Yeah. Why don't you go sign a hot dog bun?
Your
It's on
Kosai
side,
is
Scott.
the third best Kosai. Eat shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Eat that sea otter ass.
Plate of spaghetti. Willow Davis says haters can close shut the jaws of their hate mouth. That's right. Close shut the jaws of Oblivion, everybody. It's time.
Close shut the jaws. And another thing about Toledo, a rocket's not a mascot.
No.
That's just an object. You're not rockets. You're people, darn it. You're just people.
Pretty good one, though. It's a pretty good
That's
object.
actually pretty great.
Yeah, I like
actually,
it.
I actually really liked my Toledo Rockets hoodie that I had for that one semester. Beautiful campus, too, by the way. I just
Toledo's
didn't
like
my
surprise.
major.
You know what? I'm going to call it the Paris of Ohio. Toledo. I like it a lot.
Toledo is a French word.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Toledo.
Yeah, exactly.
Man,
exactly.
this is good. Our downloads for our that gives us the demographics. The Ohio downloads are going to be off the chart for this episode. I can't wait. Simon from Saskatchewan says, "Do you think Dan can eat 30 plus bananas in one sitting?" Absolutely not.
No. He'll like say a kid, then he'll like talk about how he feels sick and throw up or
I think he would be able to eat like 4.5, and that's it.
I remember the podcast where he originally talked about eating a bathtub full of macaroni and cheese and fire escape. I remember I was getting kind of shoot hot.
Yeah, everyone was.
like,
Yeah.
I was like, Jeff, I was like, Dan, what the hell's wrong with you? Of course you can't. And he kept going, oh, I can do it. Like, I know you like mac and cheese a lot. That's not the issue, you idiot.
It's like
I love you, Dan.
Didn't he do a thing where he ate a bunch of bananas and drank soda at the same time?
Yeah, we talked about that. Yeah.
With Daniel. Yeah.
2 bananas
threw
and then a
up.
Sprite, and then him and Danny
Maybe
apparently
he can
both
do
threw
it.
up.
I feel bad I called Dan
He's
an
an impressive
idiot
man.
in
No, he
anger.
knows.
I don't believe that.
All right. Simon from Saskatchewan is back. Thank you, Simon. Please don't take our limited Switch 2 supply in Canada. Be kind. I know places around me that'll insist on seeing Canadian government ID for pre-orders and pickups. Listen, I have those precious American dollars. Now let me just check the value of the dollar real quick. Oh shit. Okay, never mind. Well, okay, I'll come up with something. Listen, if I come to Canada, I promise to, I don't know, what can I do to make up for the fact that I'm going to take one of your Switch 2s if I have to?
I'm pledging not to. So you could try to match me, Mr.
No,
Swarmy.
I can't go that far.
benevolent. No, I'm not. I won't do it.
Okay,
Okay,
but listen, you're a better person, but I'm.
Well, we all know. I don't know. I just called Dan an idiot. He's so nice to me. He's sending me an Ambernick SP. I'm a piece of shit.
Is he really? He's got those set up real nice. You're gonna like that.
Yeah. I asked him for one because I want one for when I go to Disney. It could be my pocket gaming thing again,
that'd be
like back
great.
in the old days when I actually had a Game Boy Advance SP for those things.
Man, those things are worth their weight in gold now because the tariffs are gonna get those things.
Yeah. So the other thing too is like, ooh, he already has them. We're set.
Simon is back. Says, Mike, your otter story was great. Must have been clipped. Yeah, we should clip that and put that out there. Everyone should hear about the otter that ate its own ass for 10 minutes.
Yeah, well, and you have the footage now.
Yeah,
so you can include. I wish I started recording earlier because that guy was just going to town and doing those flips every 10 seconds or so for, I swear, a good 2 minutes. Another important update for anybody who listened to the Bombcast and heard me talking about those 2 auctions that I signed up for. Well, the one is for a signed picture of Elijah Wood and Sean Austin from Lord of the Rings. The other one, a signed picture of Mike Tyson on a picture from Punch Out. At the time, I was like, okay, it looks like I didn't win any of these. Well, I won both of them. So,
Could you just ghost them? I mean, listen, I know you can't, but like, could you?
Yeah, I bet people could.
Yeah,
I bet you know me.
Right, exactly. That's what I mean. Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, look, I'm both excited that I had these things and mortified. It was a bit of a drop, shall we say?
When did it occur to you that you might win both? Like, when did it first occur to you?
Almost immediately after I did it, because like at the time there weren't that many signatures. And I was like, well, this thing's probably running for like a month. This week I signed it like, oh, it ends on Monday. I was like, oh, maybe there's not that much interest. I hope some other nerd with disposable income and no family goes to the zoo tomorrow and bids on this stuff. But that didn't happen.
Turns out, no, that didn't happen.
Yeah. Oh, and I just paid my taxes too. I was like, oh, this is not great timing, Mike. But you know what? These are now family heirlooms. They will be passed
Do you accept
down.
Discover card the zoo, please?
How much can it be worth, though?
Well, I can tell you I won't tell you what I pay for them, but I won't say this, Jeff. You told me how much you thought the one was worth, and I paid slightly less.
Okay, all right, that's something.
And they're shipping it to me for free. I think they should name a penguin or something after me.
No, you should ask. You should inquire about the penguin name thing. That's a good idea.
Well, somebody in my chat, God knows who, did say something to me about working somewhere that has penguins. And there's a baby penguin in a contest to name it, and he suggested Tokoto, and people seem to like it. I'm waiting for an update.
I hope that happens. What you got to tell us, because you can get Dan on the case, Mr. Married at a Taco Bell.
I mean, if it happens, we'll go. We're gonna go to the zoo and see the Tokoto penguin if it happens, for sure.
Fantastic. All right, very good. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Oh, do you have anything else? No. Good.
Oh, Idiot Box, give me an update about Tokoto the penguin. No, sorry, Jeff, you may continue doing your job now.
Simon's back. Ever play NES Hook? Next stream game, Mike? RoboCop? I think those are separate questions. He has like, have you played NES Hook? And then what is your next stream game?
What's funny is, I've got a bunch of my NES games. At some point, I must have bought Hook from a Famicom or something, because I do have NES Hook. But I don't remember playing it. I did play Super Nintendo Hook quite a bit, and that's actually a pretty good game. There's also a Sega CD version of it, which is the same game, but the music is just John Williams' amazing score from Hook. Actually, like one of my favorite scores ever. It's such good music. So I like the 16-bit version of Hook a lot. I don't know about this NES one. I will try it. I don't remember like NES RoboCop, unless he means Rogue City, because I definitely want to play that.
I think he's talking about Rogue City. Yeah, like what?
I want to play Rogue City very badly. So yeah, maybe soon.
Like I want to see if I can translate your brain. This stuff happens to me all the time, so I'm not coming at you. You said you bought it from a Famicom. Did you mean Funkoland?
I sure did.
I'm like, I think I know what happened here. I could see my brain doing the exact same thing.
I've been having that. Remember earlier, I forgot about the month of May when we did the podcast, and you knew what I did. You were just going to let me get away with it.
Yep, no, here we are. I can like even see you like in your head, like, huh, that just happened. I'm like, he's going to bring it up. I'm like, he doesn't have to. It'll be fine, but here we are.
Oh, I always self-report.
Oh, yeah. All right, Lex Luddy. Hi, Lexi. How's it going? Hey, Grubb, you're up here. What the hell, dude? Oh, I can't remember which thing this is about.
Probably about the PlayStation 5.
Okay. Yeah, well, listen. It's
You
it's
got
a
it
bad
coming.
country. We
Oh,
have
never
here.
mind. She's Irish. Fuck. You
Yeah.
don't have it coming. It's not your fault.
How much does that like translate? Kind of American, like what, $700, $800 for a PlayStation 5?
Let's see. No, these days, I mean, I guess the dollar's weakening, so it's going up again. It would be like it's 500 euros now for a PS5 digital. That would be about $550 to $600. So in that range.
Okay.
Yeah, and I guess
so there you go.
I said, I'm sorry, Lexi.
El Grug says, so how far is Jeff in Overblood actually? Will he beat it tomorrow? Will Mikey be playing his Switch too while Jeff will still be wearing the vest? Peh. I don't know why.
Yeah, I guess I don't know how close you. I don't know how close you are. Actually, I
don't
have no
know.
idea if you're one episode away.
Yeah, I fucking hope so, but I really get the sense I'm not. Like, it doesn't feel like I'm near the end. But I mean, it's a PS1 horror game. Like, you never know how long they're gonna go.
You were like nothing but proggies last week. Now, granted, the game was kind of just like that. There wasn't really a whole lot of game.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, it was like all the stuff that was like troublesome that episode was, here are some instant death sequences, and one got me, the other one didn't. And well, okay, two got me. The pit that I was supposed to jump over, that got me, and then the giant fan got me. So it's like that stuff was happening, but not the like, what do I even do here? Although I guess we got stuck on that jump for a little bit. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. If we have another episode like that, I'll feel pretty good, even if we don't beat it tomorrow. But I would really like to see what your game is and move on and get away.
Me too.
We started talking about Dan's games, maybe. I don't know. We got some more
I
talking to
actually
do.
had a couple ideas, maybe to float by you too. I have a theory that when they started making that game, they did want it to make it like an adventure game or like more like a Resident Evil anyways. That's why there are a lot of puzzles up front. And then as the money was running out and the time was running out, it's like, look, we know what the story beats are. Let's just basically funnel those in and get to the end of this thing.
Yeah, I'm kind of going insane having collected so many clips and have never once fired a shot. I'm like, what is this?
Right? The one time you shot something, it was in a cutscene. You didn't even do it.
Right, exactly. Yes. I'm like, I know I've never used this gun that I did get, I guess, just recently. But no, I've gotten a lot of clips, so what the hell? But weird game.
There were an expectation.
Why the hell does Dr. Ryan know what my Blight Club game is?
Well, Dr. Ryan is one of the Blight Club members' doctors, and
did he have to prescribe it? Like, what the hell? Why was he involved?
Oh no, it's an over-the-counter video game. Oh no, watch out, Mikey. All right, let's keep going here. Indova King? Oh, Indova King. Okay, that makes sense. Any guesses as to the direction of the next mainline Zelda? I can't imagine a huge departure from the success of the last generation. Yeah, I think it'll be
Extraction shooter. Let's go.
PvBVE.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be pretty similar, but with they'll start doing the thing they did with the last time they had a great game of the year Zelda. After Ocarina of Time, they're like, all right, let's do that, but with a twist. And they're going to do that for the next couple of
You know
Zeldas.
what? It might even be the same twist. I bet boats will be back.
Yeah, yes, good point. Yeah, I would love that.
I think it's going to be a bunch of very big islands and a very big sea kind of thing again.
Yeah,
and I would love it.
Just like echoing Wind Waker would be awesome. Like they should do some more of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, Nintendogs says, thanks, Jeff, for recommending Gary's Economics. I've watched a large chunk of his videos and have learned a lot. Also, I love the Marvel games on GameCube, Nintendo Switch Online. Yep. Do you think by that he means like a Marvel Ultimate Alliance or what?
Man, the X-Men games were on GameCube. Marvel Ultimate
X-Men
Alliance,
Dimensions.
Hulk Ultimate Destruction was.
Yeah, but that's, yeah, okay, yeah. Then that's a great game. I love that.
When it comes to Marvel stuff on GameCube, yeah, I think of like the Hulk. There's Hulk games.
Spider-Man 2, of course.
Spider-Man,
yes.
Spider-Man 2, yeah, for sure. God, Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 is good.
I wonder.
It's funny because like there are all these games that could come to NSO. You have to like. It's probably not going to happen, but it's possible. Things like Spider-Man 2, Sonic Adventure, right? There's like weird stuff like this. But
I love Spider-Man 2 so much. God, I love that game.
It's so fun. I haven't played it in a while, so part of me is like how I feel about that now in a post-Insomniac Spider-Man world. I bet I'll still think it's really fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gary's Economics is fantastic. I know people are skeptical, like they should be, of everything online about some of his claims about his own personal life. That's not what I'm there for. He's got that one message of taxing the rich and here's why like it's broken when we don't do that. And I'm like, he just sticks to that, and it's like I don't know, it's music to my ears, because it's like I can understand that and be like, oh, that's something we can employ and actually get some stuff done. And he doesn't get caught up in any of the other politics that can bring some of these people down or distract from that message. So I think it's pretty impressive how he handles that. All right, let's see here. EP Idiot Box can't watch live today, but wanted to thank you for the gift that is adding eating ass like a plate of spaghetti to my vocabulary. Love you guys. I just like, you said that and then you kept talking for a long time and I was like, what? That's incredible.
Even I wasn't sure what I meant by that.
It doesn't matter. It's like musical. I love hearing it. Chrono Rick says, "Hey dogs, do you think Nintendo should have showed the Mario Kart Direct sooner? Because I do believe there's still a lot to show." I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's going to happen when it happens. I don't think it would have changed much.
How much more do they have to show us, really,
right.
Honestly? I think the game's sold. I think they got to show us a little bit more than what they're saying. No, I think this is fine. In fact, again, we don't know where pre-orders is. When pre-orders are, maybe this is too early.
Yeah,
actually,
for real.
Now. I might be more in line with that than the opposite, but no, I think it's fine.
Yep, exactly. All right, the Bulletproof Moon says, "Screw the pump room in Blueprints, pelvis." Yeah, eventually you'll figure it out. You'll get some other materials that make all that stuff make more sense. You can look at it and probably figure it out as well.
Yeah, you don't even need that. I will say, like, when I first saw the pump room, I was kind of like, screw this.
Yeah.
When you start fiddling with it, it's not as bad as it seems. You'll figure it out.
Yeah, I started fiddling with it, got it to do what I was trying to do, and then it's like, then I went away and was like, try to go back. I'm like, oh man, I forgot what I figured out. And then when I got the materials after that, I was like, oh, it all clicked into place. I'm like, okay, now every time I go in there, I fully understand what I'm trying to accomplish. So yeah, you'll get to a point where that is a very important room, just like all the rooms actually end up being. Like every room is more important than you first think. Even the ones that seem completely useless, there's stuff in them eventually.
Even that bathroom dead end.
Yeah, I mean, apparently there's some upgrades for that make it very useful. And that on the stream on Giant Bomb, like I got the dowsing rod. We opened it up. There was a ton of stuff in there. It was crazy how much stuff was in there.
I got that one upgrade for the chapel that you were talking about, and boy, is that nice.
Yeah, it's nice. Yes, I am actually trying to get a different one because apparently there's some other room that I haven't seen yet, and I'm like, oh, okay. It was awesome to have that, but I got a trophy for buying a bunch of stuff, so I'm like, okay, I'm good on money for a while.
I got one little blueprint thing, Jeff. I got the key for roommate, but then I had no more locked doors that day.
Oh, that's pain. Okay.
We'll get there again.
You'll get there. That's fine. The gallery? How'd you...
Gallery.
Yeah, but how'd you solve that one? Because it took me a while.
I looked that up. Okay. That was the first time. I was just like, nope.
It's so obtuse. But
that one is rough. You get to the gallery room. Listen, everybody. If you get to the gallery and blueprints, and I got there for the first time, just today, and there's no special thing you need. Everything you need to solve those puzzles in that room. Even still, it's a little much. Don't feel bad if you're like, I might just... First, I was like, I'll look online for hints. And I kept reading the hints. And then I was like, no, still don't know. And I just read the solution. I was like, no, I wasn't going to come up with that one game.
Yeah, I was talking to Chris Person, and he mentioned, he's like, the easiest way to do that is an Excel spreadsheet and a thesaurus. And I'm like, okay. And I was already doing the thing where it's different letters or whatever, and you can go try to put the words together. And I was trying a bunch of stuff, and it eventually I just looked at that first 5-letter one, and I'm like, I could have swore I tried this word already, but this has to be the solution. If it's not, I'm gonna look it up. And I did that, and it was like, oh my god, I thought I tried this one 100 times already, and it worked. I'm like, okay, now from here, I think what he meant by thesaurus is I can go from here and figure out the rest of them, and that's how it went. So yeah, right. Good game. All right, let's see. Connell Wood says, have you watched the 16-player Faceball 2000 video?
I did watch that.
I meant to watch this. Yeah. Whose video is this? This is Stop Skeletons from Fighting?
I believe I'll double check actually, but yeah. So Faceball was a Game Boy game. It was a very early first-person game, shooter kind of a thing for Game Boy. And there's always this thing out there hey, this game supports up to 16 players, but no one's ever actually done it or seen it happen. So this video is about the sort of journey to make it happen.
That's
Stop Skeletons from Fighting. So yeah, just look up Faceball 2000 on YouTube. You'll find it. It was a very, very good video. So it's a lot of interesting tidbits in there, and then the eventual solution and workaround was all really neat.
All right, yeah, I want to see that. All right, let's see. Seashore says, first time I've caught you guys live. Love everything you guys are doing and what you've brought to Giant Bomb. Rewatching Blake Club has kept me afloat with everything else going on. Penis. Everyone wants to come here and drop the penis. Yeah, thank you so much. That's a very nice thing to say. Thank you for watching all this stuff. We appreciate it. And any way anyone can listen or view this stuff is great. But I always love to have people watching live.
Yes.
Gwyn the Hunter says, do you guys think they're using the original music from Oblivion in the remaster? I'd love to hear Jeremy Soul's music, but unfortunately, Peepus. Yeah, isn't he one of the ones that kind of got Me Too'd, right?
Yes, yes. I forget the
He did
details.
stuff to get himself Me Too'd is how I should phrase that. Yeah.
Yes. He did bad stuff. Now, his music is sort of iconic in that game. I guess I'm like, hey, we could get, because he doesn't own those compositions. I assume Bethesda does. So hopefully Bethesda just hires somebody else to do a new version of those songs, or they just use the originals. They might have to pay him still. I don't know. I don't know if you just redo the soundtrack in a situation like this. I don't think that's how it goes generally.
And I think you try to keep the music in the way that is the least amount of contact and interaction with Jeremy Soule. So, like, if that means re-recording it, you probably still do have to pay him, though. So, yeah, I don't know. There's no good solution. Chris Pratt is here and says, Miyamoto-san sent me on a mission to talk to the Big Tupa so we can get Switch 2s. We'll report back soon. If anyone can do it, if anyone can charm the Big Tupa, it is the coolest man that Shigeru Miyamoto's ever met, Chris Pratt. Chris-san, get to work, bud.
Stop that Big Tupa. God, I just want to call him the Big Tupa now. That's
from now on, he's the Big Tupa on this show, at least. Oh, boy.
The Big Tupa. Incredible.
Mikey O'Leary says, like a plate of spaghetti is the most unhinged analogy I've ever heard. Analogy, but there's a dash there. You're having fun.
I need to watch this episode. I'm gonna miss it today. What the fuck is
all that
going
stuff
on?
happens in like the first 10 minutes, too, so.
Yeah. Jan's stuff broke, so we had to kill dead air. So I was just talking more about my experience at the zoo. That's all that was.
Yeah,
which was a very eventful trip, apparently.
He was going to hold back on us, but
I didn't even talk about the Dippin' Dots. Oh, we were just talking about Dippin' Dots. It was backwards. Like, are Dippin' Dots still a thing? Oh, you should have seen the kids freak out when we saw the kids and me, to be completely honest. So except they had a flavor of Dippin' Dots that's called Icy. It was just blue Icy and red Icy dots. To get Jeff. Oh,
that sounds real
Jeff,
good. I like Dippin' Dots better than regular ice cream. Like, I do.
It's very good. We have a very good ice cream chain here called Handles. So I can't
so
go
there's a
that
Handles
far.
down the street. I'm just not a big ice cream guy. So Dippin' Dots, like the gimmick, really puts it over the top for me. That's
it's
what
fun.
I'm at. Yep,
fun gimmick for sure.
All right. Our Truth is here. What's up? I've heard about these sheriffs from China ratting out the two Nintendo snitches. That's crazy. Peen. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not sure that's PG. Thank you, Our Truth. I appreciate it. God.
Thank you, Our Truth.
Some of the best super chatters in the biz is what we have on this show.
The censors will let that one slide. Don't worry.
MD says it's becoming more and more evident what the Switch 2's planning and launch is missing is the cool, steady hand of President Tatsumi Kimishima. Yep, that's what we need. Of course. Steve Sullivan says, what are your top Switch 1 games to hypothetically get the Switch 2 edition update? Mine are the Pikmin games with online modes. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah. I would love Odyssey still, just, I think that game already ran pretty smoothly. Resolution boost and maybe get rid of some of that waggle stuff that was in there, make that optional. I would like that a lot. That game doesn't need much, but that would be nice enough. Otherwise, I know Scarlet and Violet's getting an update, but boy, does that need more than that. Yeah, try to think. There's other games like the Link's Awakening, which had frame rate issues. I hope that is running better. So, yeah, the Zelda games are the big ones, of course. I'm pretty happy about those too.
Yeah, I'm like trying to think of like, okay, what about the ones that are getting new content, and would I want that applied to anything? It's like, well, Odyssey. Like, what if instead of a new Mario game next year, they got like a whole expansion for Odyssey akin to Bowser's Fury? It doesn't play like that. It plays like Odyssey, but it's like new stuff in there. I mean, I would kind of be happy with that. Of course,
Yeah,
I want a full new game. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, at a certain point they need to be working on that. I would like Splatoon 3, honestly, because again, I don't know. I don't think we're getting Splatoon 3 super soon, or Splatoon 4. I mean, so give me Splatoon 3, better frame rate, resolution. I'll check out that roguelike mode I never played. That would be neat.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. Ali Miracle says, I love how the MVC collection news comes when Capcom Arcade Collection 2 has a GameCube version of CVS2 without roll canceling.
Oh. Yeah, I do think that this is tied to, I think the improvement specifically to a GameCube era game, like was this Capcom 2, is related to all these Dreamcast era games that are going to be in Fighting Collection 2. Although, like, again, I don't know how that one's working. Because some of those, I think those are all arcade original. And again, they usually do the arcade versions of these. They don't include Dreamcast ROMs or things like that. But I'm not sure. Like, was it
CVS2? CVS2 actually has both versions. It has the arcade original and it has the GameCube version. That's what she's talking about. Remember CVS2 EO? Do you remember that on the packaging?
Oh yeah, I played that on the GameCube. It has the EO version.
Stands for Executive Order.
I'll just go with that one.
I was like, I'll just slide that in while they're still going to continue talking. Great. Fantastic show. Sludge Reinhold says, I know where the dogs stand on Arby's, but do you fuck with Culver's? The first Culver's is from my rural Wisconsin hometown, and I also feel a blood bond to that chain. Proud to say I back the blue, and I think in this case the blue is Culver's. Yeah, I love Culver's. Culver's is very good. Now, it's the cheese curds, and I can only eat those on a special occasion these days. Getting older, it's a little bit harder to get that much dairy, and I do eat a ton of them when I eat them. That's the problem. But the burgers are great too, and all that stuff. But boy, those cheese curds are fantastic.
It's the butter burger, right? Yeah. I haven't been to one yet. I've been seeing when I travel more west, even just like more West Ohio or more north, even I see signs for them. So I have to check one out. You know, that EGM compendium came out, Jeff, and I was looking up my one appearance on there in the review crew. And again, this was like 2012 or something, 2011, I think. And it does like the likes, dislikes, and thinking about. And I make an Arby's joke in there. So just to be clear, this isn't some new gimmick, everybody. No. Like, I've associated myself with Arby's for a long time.
I need to like look in that email and get in there and check out that EGM stuff. When you say the compendium, you mean the collection of the magazines, not the
the archive, the digital archive, not the book. The digital archive is up for the backers, and it's fantastic. I was looking through it. I streamed a little bit of it. It's just really neat. I was going through their like big GameCube versus Xbox specs. I was getting mad at our old mentor Dan Shu, because in that thing he was talking about like, whoa, Xbox has Halo and like GameCube kind of has some like really boring looking sequels like Super Smash Brothers Melee. I was like, ooh, I might have to message Shu about that one. What's going on there?
Now we can get mad at them all over again. Hell yeah, let's go.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's see here. Okay, yes. Screaming Madden says, how would you two feel if Nintendo announced Nintendo Pennant Chase Baseball for GameCube NSO, the canceled MLB GameCube exclusive? Peebus.
Yeah. I don't know anything about that, but that'd be sweet.
Yeah, I would love something like that. I mean, and I think Nintendo's been willing to do that when it makes sense. Now, I mean, are there real players in there? It says MLB, so licensing always a challenge, but I don't know. I don't think that precludes this from ever happening. I would like something like that. Carlos Lopez says, talk your shit, nailed the Oblivion remake. Listen, we'll find out if the whole thing comes true next week. But yeah, that thing is real for sure. And again, I think it looks pretty cool. Simon Cheers dropped a super chat without a message. If you have one, let us know, because sometimes that'll happen. November XO17 says, been playing Blueprints on the PS Portal streaming. That catalog has been growing. We just got Hogwarts Legacy on it too. Remus. Oh, is this the direct streaming thing? Not even streaming from the console. That's pretty cool. That's a good use of the portal.
Yeah, I got some games I need to finish here. I almost got to maybe slow down on Blueprints because I want to beat Avowed before Oblivion happens. There's some other big games dropping this month for sure that I need to be checking out.
Yeah, I think I just accepted, like, it was earlier in the year. People might remember me saying, like, I'm having a hard time getting started with some games. So now that I've, like, fallen so hard for Blueprints, I'm just going to let it ride. I'm not going to feel bad about it. I'm just going to keep playing it. So something will knock me off here pretty soon. Or, I do have some goals. I want to get all the letters. I want to get all the doors open. But I'm getting pretty close. I think I have about half the trophies now, and not like PlayStation trophies. There's trophies in the game. I have about half of those. I'm like, maybe I should just get all those, and that should be my goal. And I'm kind of leaning towards that in the moment. All right, let's see here. Dr. Ryan said, solved room 8, and I'm going to ride this high all day.
Shit.
Yeah. Dr. Ryan, I was like in a hurry trying to figure that one out, and I like had left it on all night and went to bed and woke up this morning, and I was like, I got to get ready for the Bombcast, but I want to solve this before that. And I started just like doing what you're supposed to do there. And I'm like, okay, this is probably not going to be right. And it's like, first try, I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that actually worked. And I think it's only because I wasn't thinking about it too hard, because I know if I had actually thought about it a little bit more, I would have screwed myself up. David Peddle says, which Canadian NHL team is Jeff going to cheer for to appease Canada? Go Jets. I do think it would be listen, Winnipeg's very good, so I do want to root for them. I think that would be great. And also I think it would be like the Canadian team that all of Canada would be least happy to have win. I think they would much rather have any of the other teams win, but maybe I'm reading that wrong. So yeah, I'm going to root for Winnipeg, and I do hope they actually pull it off. Burrito says, I don't mean to make Blight Club games look good, but I'm genuinely interested in playing Overblood 1 and 2 just from watching the show. It looks ambitious. That is a word that people use. Dan used that word, ambitious, for Overblood. And
I don't know if that's the word.
Yeah, it's got character for sure. Like there's definitely, and it's far from the worst game I've played. Like it is a bad game, but it's not like punishing.
Look, there are some Blight Club games we give you where I kind of almost feel bad. I don't feel bad about this one.
I'm like, this has been fully okay. I'm happy with this almost. Carlos Lopez is back. Says aside mobile, consoles are in trouble, huh? Most play the same 5 games. A large chunk play old games. I'm realizing this industry is buoyed by a tiny bunch of us who buy games. I'm feeling squeezed. Yeah, I think that's a proper assessment of what's going on. It's tough to be in a hobby where it's like, okay, this is going to thrive as it continues to bring in new people. And it's like, it's bringing in new people, but not at the rate at which it needs to justify the inflating costs. And it's like, oh, okay, that's where the squeeze comes from. So I don't know. There's always going to be a console gaming scene, but it just might not be the focus of major corporations for a long time. And who knows, in the long run, maybe that'll be a good thing. The Bulletproof Moon says, crap, meant Boiler Room. Love you guys. Parvis. Yeah, the Boiler Room, just spend your time on it. Like, if you look at everything, you'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Although, I'm not sure if I've ever... Well, I've done a couple things with the Boiler Room, but like the main thing...
I've done everything with the Boiler Room.
Yeah.
My issue with the Boiler Room is just that one door that like is locked unless you mess with it again. And I'm like, I'm not undoing what I already did to get the thing work.
You can undo it and it won't stop running. It'll keep running. But so the next time you come in the room, you just got to remember to flip that one switch back. And then that'll activate it.
I have not found the one switch. Okay, I have not found the one switch. Right. I don't know.
All right.
You're a better person than me. I admit it.
Well, I mean, I've played a lot longer than you. All right. Let's see here. I think that does it for the super chats. Mike Minotti, back to you.
All right, thank you, everybody. We will still read any super chats that you want to send in before the end of the show. We're going to take a quick break here, get ready to talk about what GameCube games we want to see on NSO. Should I still be calling it NSO? Is it just Nintendo Classics now?
I don't know. Listen, I think there's going to be a grace period where you can call it either one.
I'm going to call it NSO for a little bit so I know what's going on here. We'll be right back, everybody.
Break.
All right, I'm going to take Penny out.
Yep.
All right. Take the imaginary dog out.
Yeah. Why does the bitrate keep going down on this? Is that? I think that must be a OBS thing. OBS getting updated. Interesting.
I don't think there's been an update for OBS in a while.
Yeah, maybe. Then I don't know. This is weird. Okay. Well, whatever. Maybe I turned it down a couple weeks ago or something because there were some issues or something. I don't know, and I'm not remembering.
Probably.
All right.
Streaming AV1?
To YouTube, I think I was, or at least I was at one point. Maybe that got reset as well.
Maybe you should check if you're streaming AV1. I remember you talking that AV1 was turned off.
Yeah, okay. It's on this NVIDIA encoder H.264 deprecated again. So something's not saving here. I need to...
You got.
Yeah, okay. Wow.
Man,
Like I got the other day.
big brain out here. The Nuggets, remember?
The Nuggets, remember?
Yeah, my Nugget up here.
Okay. Well, I'll stand back
Up
from
here.
the mine Nuggets.
You don't see me? Why can't you see me? Up here. There you go.
Where? Oh, no. Should I be seeing you in my room right now, Christian? Is that what you're saying?
No, with your mind.
Oh, okay.
What are you talking about?
Let me think. All right. Yeah, now I can see it. You're right.
Yeah, she pointed on my brain.
All right. He's gonna read the things for this.
Yeah.
This is the Bombcast thing. Where'd my other thing go?
Whoa, what's going on? People yelling outside. It's like 11 p.m.
Go to bed.
Rude.
Crazy people.
Okay.
My neighborhood is pretty active at night. Young people with cars and shit hang out around the corner.
Oh no, he's singing.
Yeah. Everyone stand back.
Yeah, don't tell anything because he's gonna start singing on the mic. I've been having Plex troubles, and it's really annoying.
Never had problems with your Plex.
When I'm watching on browser, it gets framey from time to time.
Well, that's frustrating.
It's super frustrating. I had to use the app, and the app kind of, I don't know why the app like takes a fuck ton of time to start, and it's super annoying. But if I use it in my phone, it's fine, or in the TV, it's fine. It's just in browser.
Need some hardware decoding thing.
I don't know what it is. I looked it up everywhere, and nobody seems to have an answer. I uninstalled the Plex and reinstalled it. That was a pain in the ass because I had to let it sit and populate the Plex thing with the metadata and all that stuff. Super annoying. And that didn't solve it. I updated my straight up NAS, just the entire thing.
Oh, I see YouTube has crashed.
Oh, fun.
YouTube haven't crashed for me so far. So.
Oh, yeah, there's PAX.
Where is my YouTube? There we go. No,
don't worry, PAX. It's just he literally was open. I see PAX being like, "Oh, why does YouTube crash so much?" Not your computer. Don't worry.
Yep.
It's just YouTube with live stuff.
For months now, at least weeks.
Yeah. Oh, it's been
definitely
months. I think.
Yeah. Cool.
I mean, what is Google supposed to do? Well, they don't have resources.
Yeah.
There's
a couple nickels.
out there. There are 3 engineers and like 1 CEO.
Indie company, yeah.
Yeah.
So someone in chat asked why are chats mad at Marathon, and I meant to reply it and then I forgot because I'm tired. I don't know, but my bet is that they can't go into the characters, and that's why.
That's usually what it is.
Yeah, right?
Crazy because some of those characters are pretty sexy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm ready over here, by the way.
All right,
I'm ready. All right, we're back. So Jeff, let me ask you, what is like the one, maybe a few, but I would definitely want to know your number one game that you want to see on GameCube NSO. To remind you, the ones we know are coming, seems like the day one ones are Wind Waker, F-Zero GX, Soul Calibur 2, a lot of heavy hitters there. And then coming out a later date, but announced Mario Sunshine, Fire Emblem Path of Radiance, Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, Pokemon Colosseum, Super Mario Strikers, Chibi Robo, and Luigi's Mansion. So a lot of big hitters and a lot of expensive games on the secondhand market right now too. So I think that they have already done a really good job picking games for this thing, but some heavy hitters here, some more obscure ones missing. What's your number one?
I mean, my number one is one that I don't necessarily expect to happen. And if it does, I think there's a chance it could get like a remaster from, and get sold on the eShop and store. But it would be Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader. That would be my number one. But I think that's maybe a little less likely. So I think the one that could happen that I am hopeful in this one would be, a little bit further down on the list for me personally, but it's still one I really would like to see is Metal Arms Glitch in the System, which is a kind of run and gun 3D platformer shooter kind of game, and it was secretly really good, and especially good on the GameCube. It had a kind of improved look compared to I think the PS2 version was. The Xbox One did look the best, but I played it on GameCube and thought it looked really great. I think that's one that's like, oh yeah, that could just pop up one day. and I would really like to see that. I don't think that's one that stands a chance of getting a remaster. So it's like, oh yeah, this is perfect for Nintendo classics.
You know, I'm right there with you with Rogue Leader. I love that game. It's one of my favorite GameCube games. I told you I was reading that EGM issue of Xbox versus GameCube, and you know, they said Halo's the top launch game for Xbox, of course, but GameCube has Rogue Leader, and it got the Gold Award, so it got really good reviews there. Just still an all-timer Star Wars game. Such a pretty game. But even, I think Dolphin's probably pretty good with it now, but it was difficult to emulate that game on Dolphin, which is just one of the most impressive emulators out there.
Right.
And that on top of the Star Wars license, and it's not just Star Wars license, that game plays video from the original trilogy.
Yeah.
At the time, it was the first time we saw like digital video from the original Star Wars. It was like the best those movies had ever looked because the DVDs weren't out yet.
That's right.
So that was like a really cool aspect of it in the music. So I wish, because it's such a good game, and I hope there's something they do someday so we could play that on modern platforms. I love Rogue Leader.
Were there any Factor 5 games on N64 NSO?
I don't think so. We haven't gotten. We didn't get. I mean, we didn't get Battle for Naboo, Rogue Squadron. What else? Did they do any non-Star Wars stuff on N64?
I'm not sure if they did, but they're tech. Well, they did Indiana Jones, so
right.
Yeah.
And like the one reason why we could maybe see Aspire do Rogue Squadrons, because that had a PC port back in the day also.
Right. Yes.
So they could just port that version.
Yep.
And hopefully they do. But Rogue Leader was a GameCube exclusive, same with its sequel, Rebel Strike, which is pretty good, but not nearly as good. And
it's like, you know, the Aspire stuff's going to come to an end here pretty soon. I think Disney would be interested in, like, can someone else take on the job of doing those N64 and GameCube ones from Factor 5 and some other companies? Like, maybe that's something that could happen this generation. Like, it's going to be a long generation. So hopefully it does happen if we don't get it on NSO.
Star Wars Day is coming up, you know. In fact, I realize I'm going to be in Disney World during Star Wars Day. I'm not going to be in the park with the Star Wars stuff on Star Wars Day, but maybe there'll be some things going on there. I'm also sad because I like to stream like some kind of Star Wars game on that day. I was maybe going to do Shadows of the Empire. I might just do that ahead of time anyways.
Oh yeah, there you go.
This time around.
I was thinking about a Star Wars game as well, but I can't remember what it was. I should write these things down.
Bombad Racing.
Yeah, I'll stream Bombad Racing all day. I think we
yeah.
did do that on a Star Wars Day on Giant Bomb. It must have been last year.
I don't remember. I mean, me and you did Masters of Terrascasi that one time.
Yeah, we did.
We did Star Wars Demolition at one point too.
That's what we did. Star Wars Demolition. That's what we did. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad game at all. You know, I want Melee, Super Smash Bros. Melee pretty badly. It's just one of my favorite video games ever. Having on the Switch, having a way to play that with friends easily again would be neat. Even just playing through the challenge mode and all the other stuff on my own, and unlocking characters would be a really good time. I would love to see Skies of Arcadia also, though. Skies of Arcadia Legends, I think, is the GameCube version. Because even though I have the GameCube set up and whatnot, long RPGs like that, I would just much rather play on a handheld. So if I had that on my Switch too, that'd be great. I bet maybe that can happen unless Sega has ideas of doing a remaster of that, which they very well could. But one way or another, Jeff, I bet at some point this generation we're going to be able to play Skies of Arcadia on the Switch too.
Yeah, I agree with that. That is going to happen one way or another. And you know, I think it could happen in such a way where it's like, and now that kicks off the return of that series, which I would very much like to see.
All right, Jeff, we did ask our Patreon members and Twitch subscribers, people who have access to our special Discord, what they thought. They have given us box art answers for this. Are you ready to scroll along as I say them, or is it easy for you to say them? I forget what we do.
You say them, and I'll scroll along. Let me get that. Actually, it broke for me, so you start with that, and I'll get it up here for everybody to see.
Sure thing. So Chris 2K starts off with Metroid Prime 2 Echoes, a game I do desperately want to play, Jeff. I would take a remaster over it.
Sure.
It's a lot of these games I wouldn't really care. Like Skies of Arcadia, I'm actually just fine giving me that on NSO. But I really did like the updated controls on the Metroid Prime 1 remaster. I don't need them to jazz up the graphics as much as they did there, if that's maybe too much of a tall order. But I at least want those control updates for Metroid Prime 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's a game that, like we always say, it doesn't control bad. We get used to it, but it's awesome how good it feels to play with dual analogs. So yeah, hope that happens. Still holding out hope as we get closer to Metroid Prime 4 getting some update at some point with an actual release date. Maybe they say it then.
Darachi has BMX XXX. I forgot this weird little stamp on the box there that says "Keep it dirty." This is an acclaimed masterpiece. Was there anything titillating about this game beyond just the bad character models with their breasts out?
I mean, I don't think so. I think it was just mostly the bad character models with their chests hanging out. And it was full chest.
Incredible.
It was like nipples and stuff, but it was low quality bad nipples. Which are still nipples.
Yeah, it is still wild to me that there was like a GameCube game with nipples. I'll be honest.
Yes,
right?
it was very. I rented this and I was like, I can't believe this is real. It was one that then you play it for 30 minutes. You're like, all right, well that's that, and you're like, you never want to play it again. But yeah, it's real and it's very strange.
They're real and they're fantastic. That's some sci-fi reference.
They're real and they're pretty disappointing.
Symbiosis does have Rogue Leader also. Willow golf game enjoyer Davis has Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. This is the Sonic team, kind of the spiritual successor to Glover, if I may, Jeff. This one. This isn't a bad game. I never loved it or anything, but I absolutely think that they should put this on NSO. This is a game that Sega is not going to remaster, so they should absolutely just let them put this one on NSO.
Yeah, I mean, will they have to get Yuji Naka to sign off of it in prison? They'll have to be like, all right, yeah.
I think they own this one without his involvement.
Probably.
I think they're fine.
Yeah.
Geekly Flow has Mega Man X Command Mission, a game I always kind of forget about the existence of. You think I'd be all over this? JRPG meets Mega Man. I've only ever heard okay things about it. I need to check it out at some point. I would rather, having this on Switch 2 would be nice because I could just play it there. Another game that I don't think Capcom is going to ever remaster. They're never even going to put it in one of their compilations. There's another Mega Man game from the GameCube era that's like that, Network Transmission. I hope both of those show up on NSO.
Is Command Mission kind of like a Sonic, was the BioWare Sonic game? Or like Mario? Yeah, Sonic Chronicles.
It's like, I mean, it is. I think it's surprisingly straightforward is the thing. I don't think it's got like some, aside from the fact that it's the Mega Man characters, I don't think it has some great gameplay hook or some way that like, oh, wow, they really made it. They really brought in the Mega Man flavor into this. I don't know. I've not actually played it. At some point I'll have to. Tan has Gotcha Force. This is one, as you know, a collector of old GameCube games. I always see Gotcha Force. It always has a very hefty price tag. And I'm like, well, it's Capcom, but I don't really know what this is. It involves gotcha machines and things like that. I think it's kind of custom Robo-esque. I might be making that up, but I like already how we have a lot of the expensive games coming to NSO. They should just throw this one on there too.
Can I tell you what I always conflate this with? Or actually, do you want to guess what I always conflate this with? It's dumb.
What, Boktai?
No, it's not a game. Well, it might be a game. I think it is a game. That hamster movie, G-Force, is that what it's called? Or it must be Gerbils. That must be what's G-Force.
Yes,
so it must be Gerbils.
Right. G-Force, yes. Yeah. They are Gerbils. There's two of those, I think.
So whenever I hear Gotcha Force, I'm like,
not.
The Gerbil game? Yeah, no, not the Gerbil game.
Zoo34 says Dead Phoenix. I don't know what this is, and the fact that it doesn't have box art is like, is this like that baseball game people were talking about? Is this
not the what's the Capcom 5 game?
Oh, this is the canceled Capcom 5 game. You're right. Okay, that's right. So this is the fifth one that didn't happen. So my instinct there was right. Yes. I mean, how much of that game really exists, though, right?
Yeah, no idea. I mean, if enough exists to release a game, I'd love to see it. Sure, why not?
Tommy Petzels does have Skies of Arcadia Legends, and yeah, absolutely, that's very high up there for me. I would love to see that.
Where's the GameCube Legends version sit in terms of how people view it? Like, do people say, "Oh, you should play that one," or do people like, "No, you go play the Dreamcast version still"?
I think a lot of people say you should play the GameCube one. I think there's something that gives the Dreamcast purists a leg to stand on, but I don't remember what it is. But I think generally
it's the music.
Okay.
I think it's the Dreamcast has orchestral and GameCube has MIDI.
Okay.
That's weird. I don't think he should grab the sword like that. That doesn't seem very.
It's a stupid way to hold a sword. You're right. He's holding like the handle, not the handle.
Like
he's holding like
baton.
Yeah.
Yeah,
what's
yeah,
that
it
called?
looks weird. Slane has Cubivore, and hey, yeah, again, I don't think people should have to pay what I paid to play Cubivore or download a ROM. Absolutely throw that on NSO. It's such a weird, cute little curiosity. I'm sure Atlas will be fine to play ball with that. It's not like they're making any money off of Cubivore anymore. They should. That'd be great.
Yeah, I mean that's one that like maybe could happen eventually.
Joyce's got that the GameCube tech demo of Legend of Zelda that everybody thought was the coolest looking thing ever, and then we got Wind Waker instead, which was the right move. Wind Waker rules, but man, it's so. Have you ever seen people carry a torch for a tech demo for so long?
No, this is the one. Absolutely. And also, I like the people
That's fine.
spot Space World under here.
The Final Fantasy VII tech demo they did that made everybody think they
Right.
were making a remake back in the day.
Remember, like there was a Wii U Zelda tech demo that again was just like an HD, very traditional looking Zelda thing. We got Breath of the Wild instead. People at that point, people didn't care anymore.
Yeah, it was
They
not
moved on.
everyone had learned their lesson, and also Breath of the Wild. I mean, I guess Breath of the Wild looked cool, but I don't think we knew how good it was going to be just from those trailers.
Right.
Yeah.
Ali Miracle's Fantasy Star Online, episode 1 and 2. Boy, if they could like get like the servers going again, I don't know. But even the off screen or offline, the game was still pretty fun. I thought I'd still be happy. And there's episode 3, which is the card game
yeah.
one, which I never really played, and I would like to check that out. There's a lot of good Sega and Capcom stuff, Jeff, and I hope that they can. Look, they're already working with Sega on this stuff. We have a few Capcom things on NSO, but not a ton really. But I kind of hope that they can get those talks going
I
more.
hope so too.
Tangle Clappin's got custom robo. Me and you never really were custom robo people growing up, but this is absolutely one that should show up here, right?
Yeah, I had fun when we played it that one time. Yeah, it's not one that I have a lot of nostalgia for, but I would like to see it. Nintendo published this game, right? So
yeah, this is Nintendo. This is Nintendo, straight up Nintendo. I believe there was a custom robo trophy in Smash Bros. Melee or something, because it was an N64 game first in one way or another. The actual 5's got Star Fox Adventures. Yeah, absolutely. And I assume we will, but I want Adventures and I want Assault. I want to play through these games finally. I'll do it on my GameCube if I had to here, but I'd love to do it on my Switch too. Steve's got Metal Arms, glitch in the system, just like you said.
Yep, good game.
Jamie H1224 has, the Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. It's weird how this game is so well liked, and yet they put like the 4 out of 5 GamePro thing on the front there, which it's pretty good. I don't know if it's so good that you need to put it on the box that you got a 4 out of 5 from GamePro.
It's weird,
but it's a great game. The licensed stuff usually doesn't happen. Well, unfortunately, I've tried to think if there are some exceptions, but not
there's
really.
there's an exception. It is
Quest for Camelot for Game Boy Color.
That's right. Yeah,
right.
I saw Quest for Camelot on like Plex the other day or something. Like Plex has movies you could stream with commercials. I'm like, I should watch that and then go play that game.
And we did get GoldenEye somehow eventually, so
yeah. True.
But it's like you can see why they kind of moved heaven and earth to make GoldenEye happen,
right?
Yeah, but it's a shame because there are already a lot of really cool licensed games on the
I think
GameCube,
Nintendo needs to feel ownership and investment over something to make it happen when it comes to licensing, and they're not going to feel that way for this.
Yeah, like unfortunately they're not going to feel that way for like this or Simpsons Hit and Run, Battle for Bikini Bottom, a lot of the other really good licensed games on the GameCube. There's a bunch of them. Beef Hammer's got Beautiful Joe. Yeah, let's get Beautiful Joe 1 and 2 on there for sure. Again, maybe Capcom has some plans for a compilation, or that's something they would rather do instead. But these games already look really good, Jeff. I don't think they need much extra work. They could either just slap those on NSO, and with the kind of upscaling that their ROM does, they are going to look very, very good. I played through Beautiful Joe 1 again maybe a year or so ago. It's still a really fun and a really unique game.
Yep, I got it. I hope this one happens for sure.
Octo's got a neat one here. Gladius from LucasArts. This is a bit of a hidden gem, kind of a ancient Rome sort of thing going on with this one. A time where LucasArts is doing some neat stuff. So yeah, let's get Gladius. How do you say that?
I would say Gladius. I think that's how it's the sword, right? It's a Gladius. But
Yeah. It's that sword thing.
Correct.
Yeah.
It has the timed RPG battles sort of thing, like Mario and Luigi or whatever, where like as you're swinging, you want to, or Super Mario RPG. And I always like, oh, okay, that's cool. I want to try this. And I played this game a few years back. It's really good. It's a really good game.
Yeah, I'd be super happy to play it. So I hope they do it. Always Be Clothing as the original the GameCube Animal Crossing. I wondered what happens if you suspend Animal Crossing, and you just load it back up again. Is the game able to handle that?
I mean, I think it would probably be able to like piece together what happened. I think they could probably make that work, but I think Rossetti would still be mad at you.
Yeah, so you come out and scream at you. I think that'd be neat. There's still some neat things about that original Animal Crossing, especially all the NES games you can get.
Mm-hmm.
Villain Mechas NBA Street Volume 3, aka the one where you can play as a team of Mario, Luigi, and Princess Peach. Voice licensing is probably going to make the NBA Street games a nightmare, but boy, are they good. Volume 2, especially, but Volume 3 does have the Mario characters.
I was like getting excited because I'm like, my flippy drive is supposed to ship soon. I was like checking. I'm like, God, I hope it ships really soon so it can get around these tariffs. I'm sure it's made in China. It's like the last update was from March. I missed it. It's not coming till August. And I'm like, oh, it might never come now. That's gonna suck.
Nick Turbo has Odama. Is there a microphone on?
There is a microphone on the Switch too, built into the top. You put it into your dock and you can yell and it'll hear you just fine.
That's right. Well, there you go. Give us Odama, which for people who don't know is kind of a tactics pinball game of sorts. So with voice controls.
We have a Giant Bomb stream where I had us all hooked into one microphone, and I had them yell while I played the game part, and it's a nightmare. It was a complete mess, but it's a pretty fun stream. It's just like Mike and everyone else yelling nonstop for an hour and a half, so it's actually kind of unwatchable, but I love it.
Maybe it wasn't great TV, but we had fun.
Yeah, it's like at a certain point, I don't care. That's awesome.
Bloodborne PC 2025 has Charlie's Angels. I believe this is supposed to be a terrible game. I think it's been brought up as potential Blight Club material, in fact. Yep. So we might get there someday. Screaming Madden's got Madden 2003. Is this the one people really like, or is that a different one? I can't remember.
Those early 2000 Madden games are all pretty good.
Yeah. Probably not. I don't think we're gonna get an old Madden. We didn't get any 16-bit Madden, so don't see that happening.
No.
Adam Juice has Mystic Heroes from Koei. God, this looks familiar, but I don't know too much about Mystic Heroes, Jeff.
Yeah, I don't. Is this like a Dynasty Warriors spinoff or something? I don't know.
Balin Wonderman has Aggressive Inline from the same people who brought us BMX XXX, aka Acclaim. I think that was like their EA big label, aka Acclaim.
Yeah.
This one's supposed to be good.
I don't know. Remember. I've seen this cover art so many times, and people, if you're trying to imagine it, you're probably thinking of the right thing. The guy, like in the all black, kind of like with his arm over his head, trying to balance, and the aggressive inline written with spray paint. Yeah, I've seen this a million times. I've never played this game.
Mitchie Poo has FIFA 06. Again, man, that's a late GameCube game. 06.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at Ronaldinho there. Yeah. That was a good video game.
That reminds me. Christian, in my garage, Steph got a deal where she got some free energy drinks that are called Moss Plus, and it said from Messi. Does Messi I'm sure he has an energy drink. Do I have a Messi energy drink in my garage?
I don't know. Messi has an energy drink?
I'll take a picture and I'll send it to you.
I know he makes deals with like clothing brand, but I don't remember him like selling. I don't think he needs that kind of stuff. Well, to be honest,
I'll investigate. I'll let you know.
Yeah, FIFA. No, this is not a good FIFA. Get the head out of here.
Liwo says Eternal Darkness. I bet we'll get Eternal Darkness.
Yep, no reason.
Relative. Well, it is rated M, so they would have to do like what they did with Nintendo 64, right? There would have to be
what would be the other one? I guess Resident Evil. Well, no, they're not going to get the Resident Evil games probably.
Those have all been ported, so it's like, are they going to make the M plus version of it, or maybe the UI does look different for NSO. We've seen some pictures, Jeff. Maybe they saw a different solution for that.
Yeah, I hope actually that
on the Switch too. Yeah. Oh, Geist might be M, right? So we'll see. One Up Mango has Mario Superstar Baseball. I know we're hoping we're going to get a new baseball game, although, at this point, I feel like they maybe would have announced the thing, so maybe not this year. So yeah, give me this. I want to play some Mario Baseball.
Yep, I would love to see that. Yeah, that's one where it's like I've always just heard that from other people, but if they're not making a new one, give us this one.
Clank as the Game Boy player, which that'd be fun. Yeah, just put a Game Boy player like icon on the GameCube NSO. It just opens up the Game Boy Advance NSO. Why not?
That would be the kind of stupid shit I would like a lot.
Germ has the preview disc that it had Sonic Adventure DX, Splinter Cell, Beautiful Joe, and Billy Hatcher. I loved this preview disc. Actually, this was very good. The front says 5 playable demos, and now I'm like, well, what was the 5th one then?
Wasn't it like always Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2? Like I feel like that was on all of these preview discs.
Maybe. But yeah, I definitely remember playing this thing and realizing I maybe wouldn't like Billy Hatcher and realizing I would definitely like Beautiful Joe.
Marino says it also had Soul Calibur 2.
Oh, why don't you put that on? Oh, with Lincoln. Man, I don't know why you wouldn't advertise that aspect of it. Music with Friends has Pokemon Box. This was just a storage thing, actually, Jeff, that was compatible, especially with, there's that GBA connectivity thing. And who knows what they can make of that. Be awesome if they figure out Four Swords Adventure and make that game easier to play. Yes, absolutely. Dr. Ryan has SSX Tricky. I'm more of an SSX 3 guy myself, Jeff, but Tricky is still pretty good.
Yeah, these games are all right. Tricky, I had a lot of fun with Tricky, and 3 are both very good games.
Input name here has Killer 7. Killer 7 is a well-liked game from this era. Has that one been remastered? Can you play that on the Switch right now? I don't think so.
It got remastered on Steam, right? Was it a remaster or just
maybe
port?
I can't apparently at one point
the bad version.
There was hopes for it happening, and then it didn't in like 2020. So yeah, a Windows remaster came out in 2018.
Yes,
so
Marino says it's a bad version. So
all right then. So hopefully they just do this.
Screaming Maddens also says that Killer 7 is M-rated as well. So
there you go.
Oh, there you go. Weezman has Wario World. Hell yeah. This is a great game. This has got to be on NSO sooner rather than later. And, I've been rizzing this game up for a bit. I made Sean play it not too long ago as a punishment. I hope more people get a chance to see how kind of clever and neat this little game is. Heyman of Texas has Extreme G Racing. I know we talk up F-Zero GX. We're already getting that. I believe people like this one quite a lot too, Jeff.
Yeah, this is Extreme G Racing 3. Extreme G Racing I played a lot on the N64. I never touched Extreme G Racing 3 on the GameCube.
Lenny Cool Dick Denver has just posted a video of him pushing some kind of mysterious button releasing a mini GameCube DVD disc from the tray. That must be something custom.
Must be an aftermarket mod or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. First Avenger. Like Jeff, I've seen a lot of names I haven't seen before today.
Yeah, shout out to everybody who's getting in on the action. Appreciate it.
Yeah. Has NFL Street 2. As much as I love NBA Street, Jeff, I never played the NFL or the FIFA variants.
I did, and they're good. Nothing is NBA Street Volume 2, not even Volume 3, but they're all good games, and the NFL Street games actually were a ton of fun.
Days and Bot has Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix. You can play these games without the dance mat. I don't, if it's exactly the same. But part of me is like, hey,
just release a USB dance pad. Let's go.
Yep. Big Tony, the Final Fantasy guy, has WWE Day of Reckoning. There are actually 4 WWE games on this system, Jeff, that use the same engine. WrestleMania 18, WrestleMania 19, Day of Reckoning 2. Oh, this is Day of Reckoning 2, excuse me. This is the one that's just basically Stacy Keibler's back on the front cover. These are actually pretty good. I think they got overshadowed a bit by the SmackDown games on PS2, which are a bit better, probably. But I like these games a lot. We're not going to get them because of licensing. If there was one of these that Nintendo would try to make happen, it would certainly be one of those N64 ones, like No Mercy. Yeah, but I don't think they're going to bother with that. Adam JC has Wave Race Blue Storm. This and the 1080 games, Jeff, aren't as good as the N64 versions, and I still want them on NSO.
Same. Yep, exactly the same. They are disappointing. They miss they missed what made the first game so magical, in like a really like kind of flabbergasting way. And yet they're still worth playing, especially on something like NSO. Wave Race Blue Storm looks really good.
B has Batman Dark Tomorrow.
Nah.
God, that would be so unhinged if they did that.
That's the only big license game they get. Sure, go for it.
Michael O'Reilly's got Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This is based off of that reboot cartoon from the era that I actually liked a bit. Konami was still doing this at this time. I believe this is a beat 'em up of a sort.
Right.
Probably a bit more in that, again, that Marvel Ultimate Alliance sort of flavor of things. I don't think it's a bad game at all, but I never really played it. Matt has Tricky Mickey. Well, I don't know. This is a PAL game. The only Mickey game I remember for the GameCube was
It's from Capcom.
This is Capcom. What the heck? There was that Mickey game. It was kind of a game for babies. Something with
This is 3
something
plus.
with a mirror.
Yeah.
3. Yeah. So it's a Mickey and the Magical Mirror. Thank you, Scream Matt. And I remember kind of being excited when they announced that. And then it's basically like a very simple puzzle kind of game. So I don't know what Tricky Mickey is about. Look into that. Cryorsis has Geist. You gotta give me Geist, Jeff. Come on.
Get the Geist. That would have been the Play It Loud ad campaign.
Yeah, get the Geist. Yeah.
You're gonna get the Geist. I want the Geist for myself. Absolutely.
I mean, Nintendo was they were trying to get more mature games on GameCube, and like everyone remembers Eternal Darkness. Nobody remembered Geist. People forgot about Geist almost immediately, and it's not like it's a bad game.
No.
We joke about it. It's not some amazing game. It's not some bad game. But there's something very interesting to me about Geist's existence.
Yep. Same.
Johnny Boy has The Sims busting out. Did you play any of these GameCube Sims games?
No, I was gonna play the Sims. I did play the Sims back then. It was on PC, and all the like console versions always felt like, well, they're just trying to make these weird ports more appealing to a more casual audience or whatever. I'm like, I'll just go play the real thing.
And then, speaking of, JD Camp's got The Herbs Sims in the City.
I should play the Herbs though. That's what an insane thing to call it.
Okay, this Mickey game did come out in the US where it's called Mickey, or it's just called Hide and Sneak. Disney's Hide and Sneak. So yeah, it looks like another game for babies. A 48 Metacritic score, unfortunately.
Oh, no.
It is a shame. We got all those great Disney games and that's 8-bit, 16-bit era. Then the N64 era, there were still a few good ones, but nothing like there were before. And then by this point, not a ton of great Disney games anymore, except for Kingdom Hearts, of course.
Oh.
Turbo Sean has Star Fox Assault to round things out, and that is absolutely a underrated game. Maybe people will get a chance to play that again and all ask themselves, wait a second, why was everybody dismissive of this one? Pretty neat. I kind of put it in a similar bucket as Wario World in terms of underappreciated GameCube games. All right, well, that's it. Tons of stuff there. Is there anything like you thought of that was maybe missing from here that you would like to see, or would like to see but don't think would ever happen?
Yeah, I think people mentioned a bunch. I don't know, beyond beyond the ones we mentioned, like talked about. Like, I'm just at a point where it's like, I think a lot of the middle of the road Nintendo ones will happen. Like, when I say middle of the road, like the ones that are like just not slam dunk remasters. And even in those cases where they do remaster them, I think they'll probably end up putting a lot of those on NSO. I hope like the cadence is pretty decent. I hope it's not one game at a time. Give us 2 or 3 at a time. 2 would be okay, I think. And if it's like 2 every 3 months, I think that would be. I think that doesn't sound like a ton because it's not, but I would be okay with that.
One that didn't come up is Double Dash, Mario Kart Double Dash.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
sure we'll get that. And that one's great because it's not just, the Mario Kart game from the GameCube. It is, but they had that unique mechanic with the 2 characters, so it still stands out as being interesting today. So I would love to see that. Some other stuff like Kirby Air Ride 1 we will get, I'm sure, before
happen,
Air Riders and things like that.
For Double Dash, I remember GameCube had LAN support, and people used that to build online functionality, like on the back end, like through something called tunneling. And I was always curious. I'm like, I should try to get that working. People were doing it on like campuses where you could like plug the GameCube into the Ethernet port on your wall, and everyone's GameCubes could connect together, and they were playing Mario Kart Land that way. I wonder if they could like fake that for the NSO stuff. They won't do that. They'll just do the shared split screen the way they always have. But I'm like, I wonder if they could fake that tunneling and have a fake online mode built into Mario Kart Double Dash when it comes to NSO. That'd be cool to see.
Cool. Toadstool Tour was a very good Mario Golf. Be totally happy to play that again as well. I think the tennis game we got there was pretty good.
Yep.
As well. All sorts of great GameCube games. I'll be really excited to see what we get. Like you said, I hope that that's not a real slow drip. But even day one, I'm gonna have F-Zero GX and Soul Calibur 2. That is so exciting right there. I'm gonna spend a lot of time just with those two.
Yep, same. And then
probably Wind Waker.
We will rue the day when several new Mario parties all get added at the same time, and we have to play all of those again. So.
There were 4 Mario parties on that system.
Yep.
A lot of them use the microphone. That's an important thing that again they can do.
They could do it. All right. Well,
just absolutely insane. And, again, let's figure out let's just Zelda 4 Swords Adventures on here. Maybe the connectivity compadres can ride again, because one of the reasons that stopped, aside from dance shenanigans, the real reason is because the emulator stuff was pretty shaky.
It broke like one time really bad, and that was enough to be like, we shouldn't be putting all this work in here for something that could just break, and we'd have to redo all this effort. So yeah.
All right, let's take one more break. We'll wrap things up, talk about what we've been playing, see if there's any more super chats we have to get to.
Sounds good.
All right.
I'm good.
I'm good.
I am good.
Let's do it then.
Go.
All right, we're back. Jeff, any Nintendo games you've been playing that you want to talk about?
I have been playing, in addition to like the games my kids have been asking for help with, they're back on Piku Niku all of a sudden, and Emmy's still playing a ton of Tears of the Kingdom, just like crazy. They made me buy that plush Zelda and a plush Bokoblin, which they call a Gremlin. That's been a Gremlin.
I like that.
Yeah, and they got that for Linky Pants. Now Linky Pants has someone to play with. And they like push all 3 of them around in a stroller. My kids are weird. But I've been playing a game called Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I've gone back to this, and I think I beat this game, played the hell out of it, and then I think Addie might have deleted my save, so I'm like, we're back to the beginning. I'm just kind of like playing through it again, and I turned the online mode on, so I'm playing with strangers, and I forgot how fun it is to like be in those search and find levels where there's like 5 hidden key coins, and it's like, okay, where's this next one? It's actually pretty hard to find, and it's like, oh, well, I found it, so I'm going to put down a marker, and I'll use the little, hey, exclamation point thing to talk to the other people in the room, say, it's over here, and there's a character, everyone has their on their Switch name that is shared online, so people like name their accounts stuff like Mom, and one of them was Mom, and so like this mom was like playing with her kids, and I'm like, oh, come over here, I know where it is, I'll help you find stuff, and I think it's a good fit for Mario, especially 2D Mario, and then that game just looks so good. And the thing about, I think it's like one of the best feeling 2D platformers. It's so responsive, feels so nice to play. The jump animation just pops off the screen. So yeah, I'm really enjoying playing that. That's kind of like when I'm down from Blueprints and I want something I could just, feel viscerally connected to. That's been a really good fit for that.
It's going to be really neat to see what the next 2D Mario game looks like.
I bet it's
I don't think they'll just do... Yeah, it's a ways off, but there will be one on the Switch too. And it's like, is that going to just be Wonder 2? Probably not. They'll probably come up with another hook. And I bet there will still be some elements, like all these playable characters, the way the multiplayer works. I bet that stuff will still be in there. But it'll be a different hook aside from the Wonder Flowers. And I'll be interested to see it.
Yep, me too. And I mean, as long as it feels this good, I'll be there. Because it's just, God, they nailed it.
I've been checking out those new Genesis NSO games, actually. Never actually played through Streets of Rage 1. So, using some save state stuff here and there. But I did go through all of that. And it's still a really fun game. Not as good as Streets of Rage 2. The music is still incredible. The music is still just absolutely fantastic. But yeah, it was fun playing through it, seeing what was up. It's interesting because that's the one where you have the special button where you just call in the police car that fires a rocket launcher.
Right.
and takes out the enemies. And you kind of like, you basically get one for each life that you have. So a lot of the bosses especially kind of depend on that thing. And then the last level, which is a boss rush, and then the final boss, you're like inside this building and you can't use it anymore. And that's like, pretty big difficulty spike. And that's when you're happy for save states. And so you don't just have to play through the game 100 times, so you learn exactly what to do there.
You got to get juicy with it.
Gotta get juicy, just juicy it. So that was fun. Then eSWAT, I hadn't played too much of. I think Nest Drunk or
is this the fake Super Scalar game or whatever? Where they that
was Super Thunderblade. This is it starts off as sci-fi shinobi basically.
Ooh.
Right. So you're like a guy with some kind of officer, and you just have like a gun, and it's a bit like it's kind of RoboCop-y, the vibes, I would say. And so at first it's just that, but then you get a robot suit after a couple levels, and then instead of that kind of shinobi like jumping to like the foreground or the top section kind of thing, you have a jetpack, and that kind of becomes the gimmick. Actually, it's a pretty fun one of those kind of I don't know what you call them, not run and gun, but a little bit of that flavor. Again, shinobi-esque is a good way of thinking it. Very much about shooting from a distance.
Action platformer or whatever, yeah.
Action platformer, yeah. Again, in that Rolling Thunder shinobi vein, if you know those kinds of games.
Right.
Again, another one just using save states so I can see through the game and see everything it has.
It's like Super Turrican, like that kind of like that. Is that a good or?
Super Turrican, I think, is a bit closer to Contra than this is.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So it's exactly. It's like, you don't have like 8 directions. You have left, right. You do have up, which you don't have in a shinobi, right? But check out eSWAT if you have an affinity for Genesis. It's one of the ones that I didn't know too much about, but I think it's worth a playthrough, again, especially with save states, just so you can see everything the game has. It has some good bosses. Even the final boss I liked quite a bit. So I was happy to play through eSWAT. Yeah, it was a pretty good drop for Genesis. I hope we still get some other games not on there yet. Like, I don't think Phantasy Star 2 is. I don't think Shadow Dancer is. So there's still some Genesis games that need to be added on there. So that's that, Jeff. Why don't we read the rest of these super chats? We can get out of here.
Yeah. There's a handful more rolling in right now. We got a few from earlier. Let's see here. I think we are at the Rick Utig. Is that where we're at? No. Yes. Okay, I'm gonna read that one. You guys ever play Ninja 5-0? It looks like OG Mortal Kombat, has a cool grappling system and continue. Let's see. It's got cut off here. And combat and is skill based despite looking like Final Fight. Sorry for messing that up, Rick, but yeah, I did play Ninja 5-0. I like that game a ton. It's really good, and they just like released it. Limited run did it, right?
I think so, yeah. And I have not played this. I know it's like a Game Boy Advance hidden gem, and I want to. So at some point here, I need to check out Ninja 5-0.
Yep. Let's see here from Willow Davis. Mike, I finished Mega Man Legends 2. You're missing out.
Yep, I want to play Tron Bonne and Legends 2 really badly. I loved playing Mega Man Legends 1 all the way through finally a couple years ago. But my hang up here is that I'm trying to track down original copies so I can play it on the Retro Tank, and doesn't be easy finding.
Good luck.
I know. Well, there's the Cleveland Gaming Classic or whatever will happen again in September. Maybe I can run into it there. I might have to look up some other conventions and maybe go looking around because I really want to play those two. But PlayStation 1 emulation is also very good. Maybe I should just shut up and play it that way. That's how I did Legends 1, and it looked and ran fantastically. So those are all very good games. Capcom should just do a bundle like they did for a lot of other Mega Mans and give us.
They're gonna get there eventually,
Legends.
right? Yeah, they're doing everything else in Mega Man.
I mean, you think they would do that before Star Force at this point, right?
Is Mega Man Soccer on any of those collections?
The new, I don't think it's on any of the new ones. Like back in the day, it might have been in the Anniversary collection or something like that. But like there's weird curios like that in Battle and Chase. That again, I think Battle and Chase was actually in the Mega Man X Anniversary collection on the PS2 era or something like that. So sometimes they find their way, but that's fine. I can use ROMs for the really weird curios. It's just like how Command Mission won't be. Maybe someday we get the and the rest of them compilation with Command Mission and Network Transmission and Soccer, Battle and Chase. And maybe that weird FMV Mega Man game. You ever see that one with it's like a shooting gallery?
No.
It's based off classic Mega Man. It's
what do you mean, like Area 51 or whatever?
No, it's a kind of it's real weird. I don't think it ever had light gun support or something. You move a cursor around. They play it's like a cartoon, and they play videos of these fights, and you do just kind of have to move a cursor around and shoot at people's weak points. It's a weird thing.
That sounds nuts.
I would like to play it. What the heck?
Yep.
All right then. Well, I think that does it.
No more super
Jeff.
chats. Yep, we're all good over here.
Fantastic. We do, so there is going to be that Mario Kart Direct on Thursday. So we'll see what happens then. We have a show later that day, Game is Decide, so we'll talk about it then.
That's right.
Also on Thursday, 7:30 Eastern, I'm going to be hosting the Game Club discussion for Doom Eternal. The Game Club is all playing through Blueprints together as our next game right now. But yeah, Doom Eternal discussion soon. Tomorrow's Blight Club, so more over Grubb. We'll see how much more proggies you can make in your horrifying adventure through some space station, Earth station, or whatever.
In my
it is.
horrifying tight blue sweatpants.
Nothing scarier.
Nothing scarier than that. Absolutely not. Yeah. Tune in for that. Like Mike said, we'll be talking over the Mario Kart Direct. I'm looking forward to that. Kind of can't get enough Switch 2 stuff.
I know.
Yep. I'm like now I am considering getting one of these other OEM or the optical disc drive emulator things for the GameCube. Bye, everybody!
Yeah. That game is called Super Adventure Rockman. Thank you, Lance. No calves. Go Guardians.
Tigers first team to 10 wins in the American League.
Ooh.
You may now commence with Tabby Touchy.
Touch the tab all you want. Like a plate of spaghetti or something.